Hello, welcome to the video. In this video I'm going to be explaining food production and some of the benefits and problems that we have as humans. Now firstly we're going to look at efficiency of how we provide food for a lot of people. Now what you might think is that it's better to provide meat for people because it has more useful products within it. But that's actually incorrect. That's because if we're rearing meat, for example cows or chicken, it actually adds another stage to the food chain. And the more stages there are in a food chain, the less efficient that food chain is. So it's actually more efficient and more energy goes directly to humans if we just eat plants and vegetation rather than eating meat. This is because at every stage of the food chain, energy is lost. This might seem familiar to you from B1, so it's worth remembering that. Now in B1 it talks about how energy can be lost at each level of a pyramid of biomass. So it could be things like movement, maintaining body temperature, respiration. All these factors cause energy to be wasted at each level. So it's more efficient to have just one step in the food chain rather than two. Okay? But what can we do to reduce these problems? Well, what we can do is do something called factory farming. Now factory farming involves keeping animals in very contained small environments at quite a high temperature. This is beneficial because it stops them moving around. If they move around, they're wasting energy that could be used into actually growing their muscles. Okay? In addition to that, they're kept at warm temperatures, so they don't have to use energy to keep their own body temperature high. So these are factory farming things. They're positive, so it allows us to waste less energy or lose less energy in that food chain, therefore provide more energy to the humans. But negatively, on the other side of it, a lot of people have problems with the rights that the animals have. They're treated inhumanely. They should be allowed more space. So they may ask you to look at the moral and ethical implications of that. Another thing, just one very short part from the specification, is about fish stocks. Now fish stocks are generally on the decline, but we're trying to make sure that we're not overfishing in certain areas. Overfishing is if we fish too much and reduce the number of fish in that area to a dangerous level. And we have something called quotas. Now quotas just mean that fishermen are only allowed to catch a certain number of fish in a certain period of time, so we're not removing too many fish from that area. Finally, one last bit. A big problem that some people who are vegetarian have is not being able to get enough protein in their diet. Now, you might have heard of corn mince, and we're going to look at that now. So what we have is we have fusarium. Now fusarium is a type of fungus, and if we feed that fungus glucose, so giving it glucose, that fusarium can produce something called mycoprotein. So fusarium can produce mycoprotein, and this can then be turned into things like corn mince, which are high in protein. So that is a benefit of using that fungus. It can provide high protein meals to people who are vegetarian. In addition to this, it can also be seen as a lot more humane, because fungi or fungus doesn't have the same kind of moral and ethical requirements as a cow or a sheep or a chicken. So there are no moral and ethical issues, and it can provide a lot of protein for people who are vegetarians or who don't want to eat meat. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Rushcliffe Bio and share these videos among people you know. Thank you very much.